Hi, collective, and thank you for joining me on my channel of Angel Ashara. Um, I always love to start my videos with thank you very much for the love and support, the likes and the subscribes. I really, really appreciate it. The feedback and the messages and the comments have been absolutely phenomenal. There is a lot of messages coming through. Obviously, I can't necessarily answer every single one of them, but I will try to answer as many as I possibly can. Um, Today, I just want to kind of talk to you about what's been happening for me over the weekend and probably like the end of last week. And that is that I've been having a phenomenal fight with myself between my feminine and my masculine energy. Just before I go into that, I've got a bloodshot in my eye at the moment. I'm absolutely fine. Please don't worry about me. I was ramping. I was ramping around, which I probably shouldn't have been doing. But to be fair, my inner child she's been having a blast. Okay, so honestly, I'm fine. Please don't worry about it. Okay, so I've been having this tug of war with regards to my masculine and my feminine, and this has been an ongoing thing, and perhaps it's always going to be an ongoing thing, but this week it's been so significant that I felt a little bit energy drained, to be honest. I felt like it's sucking off my energy. And I'm really, really, I started to get quite frustrated with the toing and froing between the two. I just can't. I just honestly, collective, I just can't. And I think last night I just concluded, sorry, why chopping it up with my son? Sorry. I just concluded that it's too exhausting. I don't want to fight anymore. I choose feminine. Okay, I choose feminine. And when the minute I made that decision, an epiphany, a download just came down in the moment that I was actually making a choice between them. And what had happened is, um, just before it happened, I was saying that I don't know. I don't know how to step into feminine energy. I don't know how to be more about my heart. And then a thought came into my head, and then another thought came into my head, and then another thought came into my head. And as I analyzed the three thoughts that had come through, I identified which of those thoughts were masculine and which one of those thoughts were feminine. And it was almost like a eureka moment that, hang on a minute, I am having feminine thoughts. I am having feminine information coming. It's just that my masculine thoughts are dominating. Okay, so what that meant, I had three thoughts, didn't I? One came down as a masculine, one came down as a feminine, and then the feminine one was completely, totally wiped out by a second masculine thought. Okay, so this is a revolutionary for me. So I thought I've got to share it with the collective. So I'm going to go backwards a little bit, okay, and just kind of break it all down so it makes sense. All right, so I've always been very much a head over heart kind of person. Okay. And I believe that by being that way, it has kept me safe, collective. Okay. I think with my head. I do things with my heart, don't get me wrong. But once I'm in tune with here, that's it for me. So what do I mean by that? So I've spoke to you guys in previous videos about letting go of loved ones and the difficulties we face when we have to do that, because they're loved ones. We're emotionally, mentally, and spiritually invested into these people, aren't we? So if we've gone and invested all of this time in a relationship, if we've invested all this time into parents, siblings, family members, etc., you want to see the outcome, you want to see the fruits of that labor, don't you? So therefore, we're less inclined to walk away from that, especially if the outcome that we were hoping for hasn't been discovered or revealed to us. So again, as I've learned over the years that actually, Asha, some people are just not good for you, and it doesn't matter how much you want to hold on to them. It doesn't matter how much you want to help them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about anything. They're just not for you. Some people are just not for you, and you have to be okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. I've got siblings that are not for me. I've got elders that are not for me. I've got friends that are not for me. I'm okay with that. I have absolutely come to terms with that. But the way I've been able to come to terms with that is through my head, allowing my head to rule over my emotions. Because if my emotions continued to rule, I would continually put myself in situations that were going to inevitably have a negative outcome. Collective, there's only so much you can give, okay? You have to realize that some people do not want what you have to give, and we have to be okay with that. And I am okay with that. But that's very much a head understanding. Coming to that realization is done in the head. It can't be done in the heart, because the heart will always see love. Even when love does not exist, the heart will always seek love. That's its job. Okay. So this is why head is so important, but they both are. So again, another example, I've said to you that recently I've had to snip a few people off, even though so many people had already been snipped off. And I thought these ones were, my people now. And actually the universe was like, no, they're not your people. Snip, snip, get snipping. And again, the reason why I've been able to do that and be okay with that, and actually it doesn't keep me up at night, if I'm honest. I don't sit in my house thinking about the people that I've snipped off. I'm very much in my head, and I know that it was the right thing for me. And collectively, you have to know that. You have to know that the people that come out of your life, the universe or God, the creator, has done that to protect you. There's actually a saying. Does that make sense? Like, rejection is God's protection. You better know it, because it is. Rejection is God's protection. Okay. Whether that be you rejecting people or people rejecting you, because loads of people have rejected me. Loads of friends, family members, acquaintances, whatever it is, have rejected me. You know what I mean? And I thank every single one of you, because I know it was for my higher good. I know it was for my higher good. So again, no regrets. But I've been able to cope and maneuver through those obstacles and barriers because I am very much head over heart. Okay. But now we're moving into feminine energy, aren't we? And feminine energy is all about the heart. So how do you become all about your heart while your head still wants to protect you? Your masculine is what I mean when I say head. So head to me is masculine, and heart, as I've said, is feminine. So I'm moving into a transformation where I am stepping into pure feminine energy. Okay, pure high priestess energy. And I'm trying to find the balance between masculine and feminine energy inside of me, which is, as you know, my masculine energy is very much Sasha, and my feminine energy is very much Rozee. Okay. And these two are kind of head to head at the moment, because even though Rozee completely 100% respects Sasha, because Sasha has done so much. I mean, when it comes to protecting us, Sasha has been on the ball. And Rozee knows that. All of us know that. Inner child, emperor, and high priestess. We all know that Sasha does a goddamn good job at protecting us. However, she can also be very, very dismissive of the possibility of love, abundance, be in a position of receiving, etc. Because she's very action orientated. Sasha is very action orientated. And if it's not working, she doesn't want to give it a chance. You either come in with what we need right now, or see you later. And that's how it's been. You either hit the floor running, or see you later. There ain't no time for if, buts, and maybe. There ain't no time for possibilities. And there ain't no time for second chances. You get one chance. Okay, one chance with me. You show me your demonic demon colors and you're off. I don't play that game. Okay, Sasha. She's on it. Sasha don't play though. She don't play collective. And you know what? I'm not going to tell her that she's wrong, because she's not. She ain't wrong. It's true. People should have one chance. Why would you need someone to show you their narcissistic, demonic, bad-minded, jealousy, egotistical ways more than once? You know what I mean? Like, loud and clear the first time, safe, me and you's not for each other. See you later. But there's a flip side of that, perhaps. And that's what Rozee is trying to bring to the table to Sasha, that actually there's a balance. Okay, so how have I been able to move Sasha from being 100% dominant to now 50% dominant, which still requires some work? And that was through meditation. I started to meditate. I found a lady online, and I'll put her details in the description box. And she does so many videos, and honestly, she's fucking amazing. And she actually did this whole video on masculine energy, how to heal your masculine. Okay, and it was true. My masculine, my Sasha, she needed healing. She needed healing because she'd been in defense mode and protective mode for so long. She didn't know how to not be that person. And she didn't understand that my divine feminine was strong enough to look after herself. Does that make sense? So while Sasha thought she was doing everything she possibly could for us, and she was, in the name of protection, actually, don't mess with a divine feminine. Yes, feminine comes across as it's weak and it's vulnerable and it needs protecting and it needs a strong man to look after it. But actually, the reason why they have those sayings about a woman scorned is because a feminine, when you fuck with her and she's had enough, she will fuck your shit up worse than a masculine. Worse that, yeah, masculine, we want to fight, they want to rare. That feminine, she's calculated. You know what I'm saying? She's got her. Before you know it, you've lost your house, your land, whatever it is that you have, it is gone. When divine feminine steps into that energy where enough is enough. So I went through this meditation healing for some time, and it was very much about getting Sasha, my masculine, to understand that my divine feminine, Rosa, can take care of herself too. So actually, Sasha, it's okay for you to just sit on the sideline where you can still see her, where you can still protect all of us. But actually, you only need to jump out when you needed. Okay, so this week, why is this so relevant? So this week, I think I mentioned to you in a previous video that there's a masculine around me at the moment, and I'm still trying to work out whether or not this is my divine masculine or whether or not this is a stepping stone. And I think this week I've been in a constant kind of limbo, back and forward, with my masculine Sasha saying, this is a fucking stepping stone and I can't be bothered with this shit, snip, snip. And my divine feminine saying, no, just hang on a minute. Just, let's give it some time. Everyone's got shit going on in their life. You know what I mean? Have patience, Ash. And believe me, I've been trying to have patience. But being stuck between Sasha and Rosa is honestly, I was fucking dead. I was dead. Seriously, I was dead. Emotionally, energetically, I was dead. Crawled out of the bed on Sunday. And by Sunday night, after all that was said and done in the day, etc., I concluded that, you know what? My feminine is right. Okay, I do need to have patience. I do. And I need to allow an opportunity to blossom and develop. And my divine masculine is right too, that I also need to protect myself to make sure that I'm not being taken advantage of. All right. So, I started to listen to both sides of the argument and write down what both sides were saying. And then objectively, so first position was masculine. Okay, this is some serious bullshit. This is rare tear tear. My divine feminine, no, actually have patience. You know what I mean? There's a lot of potential here. You don't just want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay, so that's second position. And then myself, in terms of being in my Asha boss energy, was able to kind of get to a point where I'm now analyzing the argument from both sides. And by doing that, I was able to conclude that what might be the best thing for me. So collectively, I'm going to share my conclusion in this particular situation. And as it stands, I've come to understand through these conversations with these personalities inside of me and being able to look at things objectively and analyze both sides of the argument. And that is this. Okay. Sasha raises phenomenal points about protecting all of us from this situation. But actually, she works in too much haste. Okay. Her decisions are very snippy, and therefore you run the risk of missing out on a true potential. So actually, cutting this situation off completely would not be in the best interest moving forward. Okay. So that was my conclusion from Sasha's argument. My conclusion from my divine feminine Rose's argument was that, Rozee, you're unable to see the wood through the trees. You're such a romantic that you want to see love and light in everything, even when love and light might not exist. So my conversation added on to that by saying, "Uh, my divine feminine has been so used to fake love, that she started to believe and accept that fake love. So she's not able to give a true, holistic, analytical view on the situation because her ideology of love is distorted. So, yes, she loves and she loves unconditionally, but actually, that's also quite dangerous and risky, especially if your understanding of love has been contaminated. So I woke up this morning in my Asher energy and made an affirmative decision. And that decision is, I'm going to send this person or have a conversation with the person and let them know, in terms of a relationship, nah, I'm not interested. In terms of a friendship, yeah, I'm interested. Okay? That that coming to that decision and that understanding with myself has been revolutionary. Okay, collective. And the reason why it's been revolutionary is because actually I haven't cut the person completely off in a snip, snip, masculine fashion, but I haven't committed to the person either, when actually the person might not even be worthy of my commitment. So therefore, I haven't thrown myself in the deep end like what Rozee would have done. I've started to balance between the energy. One, it still keeps me safe. And two, it doesn't limit me from the opportunities and the possibilities. If somewhere down the line, me and this person develop into a relationship from this beautiful, beautiful friendship that we already have, and it is a beautiful friendship, it really is, it's a beautiful friendship, then so be it. If we develop into a relationship, it's a win-win situation, collective. It's a win-win situation because I still hold on to a friend without actually having my heart broken. If for whatever reason it transpires that this person is a pile of fucking shit, because let's face it, this has happened before. This has happened before when I've jumped in or I've given 16 years of and whatever, and actually the person's a pile of fucking shit. Does that make sense? Like, it transpires. There's no, you can no longer ignore it. It is what it is. The universe has brought it around so many times. You cannot ignore it. This person is not right for you. It's a toxic situation. Whereas, like I said, this way, how I've done it, it doesn't matter if it's toxic because there's nothing invested into it. Okay, so what I mean by that is that you invest a lot more into a committed relationship than you do a friendship. A committed relationship expects you to be on the phone with a person every single day. It expects you to be tapping in with that person. How's your day? It expects you to be going out on dates. It expects you to be putting work into it. Whereas a friendship does not expect that level of input or commitment from you. You know, you can call that person once a week, once a month, to be fair, if it's a real friend. Yo, just checking in. How's it going on? You good? Yeah. All right, cool, safe. Put that phone down. Okay. With a committed relationship, it's a little bit different. Okay. You and that person's going to be expecting more. So I'm sharing this video, collective, because that was revolutionary to me. Coming up with a middle ground compromise on how to deal with this situation without snipping and cutting off that person and limiting myself, or without going forward with something and then finally down the line realizing that it's not what I thought it was going to be. And for the first time, collective, in a long time, I'm taking back control. I'm taking back my power. Do you know what I mean? I'm making decisions that are right for me instead of making decisions that are right for everybody else. I no longer choose to give a fuck about the fuckery and the people that are displaying fuckery to me. It's like for like now. If you're coming around here with some bullshit energy, I'm going to use my gift of discernment. I'm going to pick and choose actually what's right for me, what feels right for me, collective. And some of you might be there thinking, what the fuck's this girl on about? I've always been choosing me. And if that's the case, yo, Don, I salute you. I really do. But that has not been my position. I have given a lot more than I have ever taken, because that's who I am. Okay. And I thought that being that way was negative, because Asha, you constantly get burnt. But I can't help it. It's my nature. It's who I am. I'm here to love abundantly, but not be abused. I will no longer be abused. I will no longer allow people to abuse me, and neither should you, collective. If you are, don't let people abuse you. Do not let them take advantage of you. Life does not have to be black and white. It does not have to be masculine, snip, snip, snip. And it doesn't have to be feminine, love, love, love. There is a middle ground. And I'm now excited about learning the middle ground. Don't get me wrong, if I've snipped you off, no, that is a snip thing. I'm sorry. Okay, it's not gonna happen. I'm not welcoming anybody back into my life. The energy that was shown to me either by the person personally or coming down from a download from spirit, I can't deny that. It is what it is. And like I said, I don't have any regrets. You know what I mean? I'm very, very, very happy with who I am and where I am right now and who I have around me. I don't need no new friends. Okay, I don't need, I'm not here for the friendship. I'm here for the learning and the lessons along the way. And if a lesson has been learned, then it's door closed. You don't have to keep reliving these lessons with people in your life. I've been there, I've done that. I choose not to do it anymore. I choose me. I choose me, collective. And you need to choose you, because you are the most important, fundamental thing in your life. And actually, I believe that when you descended down from the heavens onto this earth, you had a mission, you had a purpose. And the only way you're going to fulfill that mission and purpose is by stopping. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing and stop giving away everything that you have. And sit down with self and think about, what is it? What is my purpose here? And when you get to understand whatever that purpose is, you don't stop. You go full speed ahead. Don't get me wrong, life is not for the swift, it's for those that can endure it. So enjoy every single minute of it. But it is really time to put others to one side and start to think about you. Put you first. Because as I said, you are the most important thing in your life. So I guess the moral of this video is that, collective, today I've learned to put myself first. You know what I mean? Which is something I'm not accustomed to. I've never really put myself first. It's always been about everybody else. But I stand here in the moment with you today and say, do you know what? Today is number one of putting me first and putting my needs first. And if it feels good to me, so be it. But if it doesn't, snip, snip. And on that note, collective, love and light, always and forever. Take care. Mwah.